Ill Nation, what's going on with you guys, man? It's Kid Ill's Truth in the building, and today, man, we are looking at another For Honor discussion. In particular, we're looking at identifying For Honor's balance issues, identifying the root of For Honor's balance issues, I should say. So, in my honest opinion, you guys, it comes down to two things. One is Ubisoft's the dedication that Ubisoft has to maintaining one level of balance between the PC and the console versions of the game. I believe that is not, I won't say wrong, but I believe that's not the best way to attack it. I believe to separate it and maintain two levels of balance between the two, so you can embrace each side of the respective platforms. And B, I believe it's being simply the frame rate. I believe the frame rate takes a major hit, and it also coincides as a catalyst to point A. So before we get into this essay, you guys, I want to let you guys know that we are definitely doing these essays every week. So if you are new to the channel, make sure to hit that sub button, sub up. We drop these things every week. We get a nice little discussion going down in the comment section. So at the end of the video, go ahead, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. But with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get into this essay, you guys, and it reads as follows. So let's get to it. As you guys know, I often talk about the divide amongst the players within this game. Whether it's from an honor standpoint in the somewhat popular logical thinking series, or from a balance standpoint in my numerous discussion videos, players have for the most part never come to a universal agreement within the community. In this video, we'll be focusing on the balance side of things, but this isn't about any hero in particular, but we'll be covering the basis of what I believe is causing the balance issues and why no matter what Ubisoft does to counteract this, it's to no avail. We'll be discussing the root of For Honor's balance issues, which in my opinion comes down to one simple statement. For Honor needs separate balancing between its PC and console platforms. But before we could fully understand why this needs to be a thing, we have to take time to understand the base issues of the game and why players on both platforms are at a constant gridlock between everything from reworks to balance itself. So to get started, let's look into For Honor at its current point. With Season 6 in full swing, it's no secret that the Reworked Heroes of Season 5 have completely taken over the meta, with the Conqueror, Berserker, Kensei, and Highlander being the most notable. And with that statement alone, many console players are ready to argue that the Orochi has become a true issue and needs to be looked at. While I will take your word for it, the fact of the matter is he truly isn't an issue on the PC platform. Actually, on the contrary, his rework didn't do enough for him on PC, and he's completely shut down by simply blocking his attacks. And yes, that includes the speedy new Storm Rush and the 400 millisecond lights. So while I'm not saying that on console he isn't an issue, he just isn't on PC, you guys. So moving forward with another controversial assassin, the Shaman. She truly isn't that much of an issue on the PC front. Granted, you have to play on your toes and it isn't a snooze fest playing against a good one, but it's very much possible to beat a good Shaman. These heroes are vastly different between the platforms, or should I say the environment of each respective platform makes these heroes perform vastly different. And at this point, we all know the culprit of the difference in performance. It's the frame rate. The console version of For Honor is locked at 30 frames per second, or FPS for short. This is vastly different from the PC version where the frame rate is 60 FPS at a minimum. So let's be very clear, you guys, the PC frame rate is at a minimum 60 frames per second, which means that players including myself play it at well over 60 FPS. I personally play at a locked 144 frames per second. So what does all this mean? It means that in one real-time second, I will see 144 distinct animation frames giving me all the information I need to make my decision on whether to block or parry an attack, or whatever else I may need to do in order to win the fight. So quick math will tell me in order to block a Shaman's light attack, which is 500 milliseconds, I will have a smooth 72 frames to react to and block said attack. Let's look at the same scenario on the console side of things. Since console is locked at 30 FPS, a Shaman's 500 ms light attack will in retrospect have a choppy 15 frame animation, meaning I will have 15 frames to react to the same attack on the same exact game, just on a different platform. The difference is uncanny. In this scenario, the PC will give you well over 4 times the information that the console will afford you. This is why some attacks on console look so uneven and choppy. You're not even seeing the entire animation. Things such as the Peacekeeper zone attack have less than 14 frames of animation. When looking at it from this perspective, can we really say these two games are one and the same? I mean, sure, they share the same look and controls, but are they really the same game at this point, or at any point for that matter? Granted, some PC players don't have the peripherals to play at this level frame-wise, but the point is it's very much possible to do so. So with all this frame talk, one would think the very simple solution would be to increase the frame rate on the console version to a 60 FPS standard. I was very well in this boat. I mean, so much so that I made a complete video on this very topic, but unfortunately the devs have said multiple times that simply can't be done due to hardware limitations on the console side of things. So with 60 FPS on console not being an option, there's only one true option left. And I'll say it again, For Honor needs to separate balance between the PC and the console version. In my eyes, it's the only way this game could truly become balanced and thereby competitive. For Honor is currently in a median between the PC and the console as far as balance is concerned. Attacks such as the Peacekeeper zone is simply too fast on console, while moves such as the Warden sidelights is simply too slow on PC. but any change on any front will vastly change the level of balance in one's favor or another. In order to make both sides happy, there needs to be a full segregation in the balance of the game on each respective platform. This way, the devs can fully embrace each side with no form of sacrifice, no median. Moves can be slowed down or sped up in accordance to their platform and player feedback. This will bring the playstyles of each platform closer together and would allow for better continuity between the game and its balance. Because that's what it's all about at the end of the day, the balance of the game. It doesn't matter if you rework, rebalance, buff, or nerf whatever arbitrary hero in the game. If there's no foundation that fully supports the balance changes, all you would do is create more issues and the divide will continue to get worse. A great example of this are the Reworked Heroes. While the direction that they've taken works well within the PC environment for the most part, these changes have allowed for players to abuse the speed aspect of these reworks on the console front. If there was a separation of balance changes between the two platforms, these issues could potentially be remedied, or at the very least could see some form of forward progression towards a solution. Because at the end of the day, nothing is perfect, but that doesn't excuse us for giving it our best shot. And I believe our best shot for true balance at this point would be to fully embrace each platform separately and make balance changes independent from each other. So all in all, I would love to see this come to fruition in the future. And I don't say these things lightly. I know that there will be a further increase in workload for the development end. I wouldn't expect to see patches released on the same day for both console and PC as we've seen in the past, and there would of course be a time for adjustment for both sides, as we all will see vastly different changes on both platforms. And while this would be different for us, I feel as though we have to accept it in order, for the sake, I should say, for the sake of balance. With the E3 2018 showcase coming up in the next few weeks, I expect them to reveal plans for another season pass to include new heroes. And while that's great for the game and all, and it will surely bring in new players as well as old players, we have to make sure that they stick around this time. Ubisoft have made great strides in their network connectivity aspect with the implementation of the dedicated servers and the lag compensation. Now it's time that they tackle game balance at the same level of priority and dedication that they did with the network connectivity. It would be a shame to receive an influx of new players due to the outright success of their E3 2018 showcase, only to lose them a month later due to balance issues. And I believe the Ubisoft team is going to go ahead and knock it out of the park, you guys. And I believe that this is going to be one of their main priorities going forward. Well, there you have it, you guys. That's what I think, to be honest with you guys. Like, that's what I think will not so much fix every issue, but I believe it will be a great starting point, and the issues will kind of work themselves out. You will be able to identify certain balance changes more effectively and more accurately, you know what I mean, if you separate it. And that is truly what I believe, you guys. So as always, with the end of the video, we got to start the discussion. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. As you guys know, I read them all. I can't respond to them all. It's a lot of them, but nonetheless, I do read them all, you guys. So let me know your thoughts and leave me a comment in the comment section down below. Once again, if you are new to the channel, make sure to hit that sub button, sub up, join the family, join Ill Nation. We're growing, we're staying strong, we're staying true. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of you. Oh my fucking God, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, you guys. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Peace to the world, peace to the earth. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys don't know how hard it took me to fucking make this one, because shit, I'm gonna be honest, this shit was hard to fucking record. But nonetheless, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of you guys. Peace to the world, peace to the earth. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we out, man. That's a wrap. Peace, y'all.